Hi, I'm Marco Marola, and joining me today is Adam Braun, the CEO and founder of Pencils of Promise. Adam, thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
Adam, you talked a little bit about near-death experience, and it gave you your sense of purpose. Were there any point during the process of either founding Pencils of Promise or up until today that you had some form of doubt?
Yeah, I mean, I think every entrepreneur at moments has this kind of questioning. But given that I had been through this kind of crazy, near-death, almost certain death experience, a lot of my foundation has been grounded in this sense of purpose. That I have a responsibility and a reason to be here and to accomplish something that helps others, and that's always been really beneficial to push through those challenging moments.
So talking about purpose, you talk about how your company has a for-purpose approach.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? How does it separate your company from other non-for-profits?
Sure. This idea of for-purpose kind of really stems from the intersection of nonprofit idealism and for-profit business acumen, and enables us to kind of have this idea, this ethos, this principle that we're not just going to try to help people alone, but that we're going to hold ourselves accountable to a higher standard, and that we're going to apply the best in kind of class principles, talent, resources to solving a problem, and do so with the greatest efficiency and efficacy that we can.
And you talked about starting your company with $25 and a Bank of America account, and I thought that story was really, really interesting. What was it like to try to scale it to the size it is today? What were the biggest challenges of doing so?
Well, I mean, to answer the question of what is it like to scale it, I think from the outside, people always perceive that, first of all, it's consistent, wins, and that it's like an overnight success because you did this one moment and suddenly it changed everything. And the reality is, I think any entrepreneur can attest to this, especially those that have eventually found success with a venture, is that it's actually not about the one big win. It's like the 10,000 small wins, the 10,000 medium wins, and the couple thousand what you think are big wins, but actually just move the needle in the right direction. And it's about, I think, continuing to plug away at the next challenge in front of you, and understanding that a size of win is always relative, based on the place that you're at in your organizational trajectory, and that as long as you keep that big vision in the distance, that you'll stay motivated.
So your brother, I believe, is a talent agent, correct?
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but what's it like to have his clients like Justin Bieber, like these high-profile celebrities backing your company? What has that meant for the growth of your company?
Yeah. So Justin got involved really early on with Pencils of Promise, as well as there's been a whole bunch of people. Some of them, my brother's clients. A lot of people that aren't his clients that have just been incredibly supportive. But I think what we've always looked at is we tried to build an organization that said that every single person can make a meaningful difference. And some of these people that have really, really big platforms have been able to shine a really bright spotlight on the work that we're doing, the children that we impact, and that's been incredible.
You say that your company will or can break ground on a new school every 90 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on exactly where we are, but more or less, if you kind of average it out, it tends to be somewhere around there.
How does that rate of growth affect your role as the leader and CEO of this company?
Well, one thing is I'm actually not the active CEO of Pencils of Promise anymore. I brought in a CEO to replace myself, and my focus today is much more so on Mission U, a newer venture that I started in 2016 with my co-founder, Mike Adams. But my role in Pencils of Promise is now as founder and board emeritus, which enables me to kind of still help with the high level pieces, vision, strategic relationships, big decisions, major relationships, and it's incredibly honestly inspiring to see an organization that you put so much into, that you founded almost 10 years ago, go on and have this extraordinary life without you having to actually do that much for it to sustain, because so many other great people are now supporting.
And how do the goals of Mission U differ from those of Pencils of Promise?
Mission U is focused on higher education here at home, whereas Pencils of Promise is focused on primary education abroad. So, over time, your interests and your passions evolve. I now have little kids at home, and I think about their future education. So, I had a deep desire to work on education here in the States as well.
And now I have to ask you the question we asked all the social entrepreneurs who come in. What advice do you have for up-and-coming social entrepreneurs, especially those just looking for a place to start?
Yeah, one is treat every no as a maybe. Maybe it's a deferred maybe, but when someone says no, if you accept that as a no, you're not going to end up succeeding. You have to find ways to bust down walls that are there, and be relentless and kind of convert those no's into deferred maybes. The second is you know, surround yourself with people that make you better. Try and find great teammates. It's never going to be, you know, an accomplishment of one. It's always going to be of the broader team. And then the final is, I showed this during the talk, but, you know, make the little decisions with your head and the big ones with your heart, and you'll be just fine.
Adam, I know you're super busy, so I just want to thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.